Good evening, Bahamas. Coming up in our news tonight, a man is hospitalized following a shooting here in the capital. Increased immigration fees are on the way, plus BIMINI residents rejoice after receiving a fire truck.
Our news is brought to you by Alive.
Welcome to our News Weekend Edition, and thanks for joining us. I'm Georgia Bain, topping news tonight. A child is listed in critical condition tonight after being struck by a car in Eleuthera Friday evening. According to police reports, shortly after 5 p.m., a resident of Green Castle arrived home with a male child. He secured the child, leaving the child inside, and got into another vehicle. As he was reversing, he heard the child screaming. The child was found at the rear of the vehicle, bleeding from an injury to the head. The child was transported to the Rock Sound Clinic and later had to be flown to the capital for medical attention. He is now listed in critical condition. Well, police here in the capital are investigating a shooting incident in a Haitian village. According to police reports, the incident happened after 11 p.m. Friday night in a Haitian community off Cowpen Road, where a man was sitting in a vehicle as he was approached by an armed male who shot him multiple times before fleeing on foot. The victim was transported to hospital and is currently listed in critical condition. Police also need your assistance finding a man responsible for an overnight armed robbery. According to police reports, a woman was sitting in her vehicle in the driveway of her home in Garden Hills. She was approached by an armed man who came from the passenger side of a black Toyota Passo. The man demanded the keys to her white Honda CR-V, license plate number AF6344. Both vehicles then sped away from the area. Anyone with information is asked to call police at 919 or 911. Well, the government expects to collect nearly $18 million in revenue from work and resident permit fees during the 2019-2020 fiscal year. The projected collection is more than $11 million increase from the $6 million forecasted during the 2018-2019 fiscal year. Acting Financial Secretary MARLON Johnson.
Remember, we had the increase last budget year. The cost of most of the immigration fee structures doubled. And as a result of that, just the ongoing activity and based upon what we're seeing this year, that is why we would have been able to forecast the consistent. I think we do budget about $11 million additional, incremental, because of that. Not in increased fees, but just the increase in fees has generated more revenue than we would have anticipated this fiscal year.
In 2018, the government increased the fees for individuals seeking permanent residency from $10,000 to $15,000. Individuals who resided in the Bahamas for at least 10 years but less than 20 years, and those who held a work visa and were not teachers employed as a police officer, prison overseer, or nurse, saw a fee increase from $5,000 to $7,500. People born outside the Bahamas whose mother is a Bahamian citizen are required to pay $1,000 for a permanent residency instead of $250. Another notable increase was work permit fees for housemen, gardeners, maintenance men, first mates, cigar rollers, receptionists, sale clerks, seamstress, tailors, and professionals listed under Scale 7 increased from $3,000 to $4,000. Well, the Association of Certified Anti-Money Laundering Specialists, the Bahamas chapter, has officially begun their work here in the Bahamas. Co-chair Tanya McCartney said the aim is to gather like-minded persons interested in improving the area of the finance industry.
It is a globally recognized international body, and Mr. Foon will tell you more about it. But our primary objective is really to ensure that we equip professionals with the skills and give them the opportunities for the training necessary in the prevention and the detection of money laundering and financial crimes. So we have a lot of compliance professionals, AML specialists, who we hope to provide opportunities to get certified as well as to continue their professional development.
McCartney said it is all about changing the narrative of money laundering in the Bahamas that has been negative for far too long.
the Bahamas has been under tremendous scrutiny recently as it relates to the prevention of financial crime and its anti-money laundering regime. We would have had an evaluation by the Caribbean Financial Action Task Force recently, which highlighted some opportunities for improvement. We hope that we can work with stakeholders, both in the private and public sector, to, I guess, change the narrative as it relates to the Bahamas and our level of commitment to adherence to the highest possible standards in this area. So we're hoping to raise the profile of the jurisdiction while collaborating with all stakeholders.
Co-chair and central bank examiner Charles Virgil said anyone interested in aiding in the cause is asked to contact himself or McCartney.
The launch tonight is going to bring together all of the people who are already part of the ACAMS family. These people are, we have about 200 persons who are already part of ACAMS. We are hoping to attract even more people because together we can certainly be unified in this effort against terrorist financing and money laundering.
Well, the Bahamas Coalition of Concerned Citizens will be taking their concerns to Grand Bahama in June about the Bahamas' pending accession to the World Trade Organization. President of the Coalition of Concerned Citizens, Pastor Eddie Victor, said Bahamians have to take this seriously.
The greatest resources that this country has is its people. And we believe it's time for people across our country to unite together, work together, to bring a paradigm shift in our country where Bahamians have the opportunity to prosper, and also, very important, that Bahamians have an opportunity to own their own economy.
Victor said with the release of a recent report, it is even more clear to the coalition that WTO is not for the Bahamas.
The Bahamas Chamber of Commerce and the Employers Federation released the World Trade Organization, WTO, Impact Assessment Report. And this was conducted by Oxford Economics. Now, this report raised several concerns about the Bahamas' readiness for ascension to the WTO. This consultative group said that joining the WTO does not solve the structural problems of the economy in the Bahamas.
Victor encourages all Grand Bahamians to come out and voice their concerns.
And we believe that the Bahamas' entry into the World WTO is a threat to the economy and to the workers across our nation. As a result of this, the Coalition of Labor Unions, along with the Coalition of Concerned Citizens, will host a special WTO forum. It will be Monday, June 3rd at 7 p.m. at the Mary Star Auditorium.
Well, as tensions grow as an overwhelming majority of Bahamas Hotel Catering and Allied Workers Union members voted to strike after continued difficulties in negotiating a new industrial agreement with their employers, the president, Darren Woods, discussed future plans that his union is working on.
We've actually tried to reach out to the Minister of Tourism to find out exactly how better the union could assist the tourism industry, because we are responsible for the #1 industry. And so one of the initiatives that we are eyeing next would be, one, we want to digitize our membership department, because we want to be able to know exactly who are members of our union. We're also venturing on training programs for our shop stewards, chief shop stewards, and the membership at large, because we believe that the tourism product is changing and we want our members to be on the cutting edge of the changes that are happening.
According to Woods, union members can also look forward to industry-driven training to take their skill sets and performance to another level.
We've already started the training for the officers of the union and also the employees, because we believe that the service that we offer to our members ought to be top-notch. And this is not to say that we have not been offering good service, but we could always improve on the service. And a part of the training that we intend to put on for our members is customer-related, service-oriented, and at the whole industry-driven.
Woods also commented on the union's outstanding contracts.
We have 5 contracts that are still outstanding, with which we have already begun a negotiation process for those ones, and they include the Club Med Hotel, the Club Med Resort on San Salvador, Restaurants Bahamas, better known as KFC, Bayview Villas, Harborside, and Poop Deck. And we believe that we should be able to wrap those ones up in pretty much short order while we start the negotiations for the big boys.
Well, still to come on our news, Bimini residents are grateful for the island's newest resident. Plus, unions prepare for the upcoming Labor Day festivities. Stay with us.